I guess we're live. That's strangely difficult to see when you stream, so I kind of missed it. I wish there were some easy way to actually know that it works, because when I tried streaming a while back, it just everything went bad. So the uncomfortable delay before was it was because of this. I thought I'd try to look at some videos on YouTube. There's plenty of videos on YouTube with a lot of crappy, a lot of crappy material for sure. There's a lot of bro science, and there's a lot of simplified, not very good tips. And I thought I should watch some of these and comment them. You can, of course, just leave me a little message in this chat, and I will, I will answer it if I see it. So let's remove this little thing here, and let's take a look at some clips.
Do you think male depression is real, or should a man just push through and man up, as they say?
He said that male...
Do you think male depression is real, or should a man just push through and man up, as they say?
There is an element of, if your dopamine levels are blunted, you've lost a bit of that dopamine sensitivity, then yes, there is that feeling of feeling depressed, where you just do not have that spark, you do not have that motivation, you feel like you're living in a fog, life loses its meaning. The idea that you have depression and it's genetic and there's nothing you can do about it, that's just what it is wrong. You can change it, you can fix it. Just simply working out does more than jumping on antidepressants.
Do you think...
Yeah. I'm sorry about the volume there. I hope your ears are intact. Well, that was a typical bro science clip for sure. I mean, it's a very misleading headline. You kind of get the feeling that they are actually going to give you some great tips and take it seriously, but we're back to the square one with men are supposed to be strong and men are this and that and just work out, bro. I really hate this. I hate that there's a lot of people who actually think this is true. Yes, it's very good for your health to work out. It's really good. It's crucial for all kinds of reasons. But it will not cure and fix depression, because depression is a complex, it's a term of a lot of different things, really, but it's not a single fix type of illness. It is a whole range of illnesses, actually. You can get depression from for the reason that you have maybe a trauma. It could be because of like borderline. It's very common to have depression because of borderline, and depression is very intimately connected with all kinds of other disease, complex illnesses like ADHD, ADD, autism, and so on. It is a response of the human body, because there are some things that are problematic. Very often these things are social, but they can also be completely biological. There's a lot of people out there that for no reason have a good life. They have a calm life, a peaceful life, and they are still depressed. It has nothing to do with them not working out or being fit. Their hormonal balances, their all kinds of things in their brain really are off. And yeah, the only thing that actually helps are various forms of medications. And most of them wish that it wasn't the case. And there's no real easy way of getting out of it. And of course, going on medicines all your life, that's not great. It's usually actually quite bad for you. But one thing's for sure, you can't fix it with working out. This attitude that just go out in the sun, just lift some weights and you feel a lot better. It's so annoying. And it's really annoying that these kind of clips get all kinds of huge numbers when it comes to viewing. I mean, really, this is when I search mental health men, this is the first clip of shorts that pops up. And it's absolutely just another moronic bro science clip. That's what it is. That can actually hurt a lot of people. They should get professional treatment, an evaluation of what is wrong with them, rather than just, training. I mean, yeah, go ahead and train. That's good, but it's not going to fix you. All right, that's not how anything works. Okay, you won't get any science backing that up. I think it's dangerous, actually. All right, let's take a look at another clip here. Oh God, I hate his face, but yeah, let's look at it.
We talk about men's mental health. Everyone tries to talk about it.
If you're a man and you've got weight on your shoulders and you think the only way you can solve this by killing yourself, please speak to someone.
That's mainly most of the reasons I'm back, is to show people who's living in darkness that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I'm no one special.
And everyone says, men, you should talk more, talk to us. I try and encourage men to be strong. I say, listen, if you're depressed, you need to get in the gym. A strong body is a strong mind. I encourage people to work hard and try their best to become the best version of themselves. And men are encouraged to talk and open up. But when I talk and open up and get massive influence and start helping people, they're going to silence me. I have been nothing but a net positive for the world. That's truly how I view myself. And that's absolutely not the truth. We talk about men's mental health.
All right. Oh God. That man, he's got a lot of confidence. Yeah, I can say that for sure. He's an absolute idiot. Yeah. So the contradiction here is obvious. He's talking about men with bad mental health and how they are suffering, and then he's basically shaming them and saying, well, you should be strong. That's important. This fear of weakness, this fear of anything that's not being completely 100% strong as he perceives it is bad. That's what he's saying. Don't be weak. And the solution is be physically strong. Once again, the mental health nut jobs come into the spotlight with their pseudoscience. Oh God! And this is someone that, I mean, he's popular. He's really, really popular. He's got like millions of views on each short, and I know a lot of young people listen to him because he's very skilled at speaking. He's a good speaker. His rhetorics are top notch. That is what he's good at. He's a really good speaker. Too bad what he says are just platitudes at best, but often just pseudoscience. It's horrible, actually, really horrible. And it will make people feel bad for feeling bad, especially young men and men in general. I mean, I don't know who listens to this idiot who is above the age of 20, but I guess there's going to be plenty of those who do. So, oh God. It's a rough start on this with these bro science idiots. Let's move on to someone whom I don't know. Let's just look at this one.
I broke my collarbone in a football game. There was Dad up in the stands giving me the old be tough. So I played 2 more downs before I passed out. My date, Mary Jo Klumsky, left the senior dance with another guy. Broke my heart. 2 a.m. at the kitchen table, my old man's telling me eat the sandwich and forget about her. Feelings. I didn't even cry at his funeral, you believe that? The guy was my whole world. Not a tear. Everybody looking at me like I didn't love him. But he knew. Yeah, I know, right? I broke my collarbone in a football game.
All right, yeah. This was I didn't know what to say about this clip. Mr. Al Bundy himself, the manliest man ever. Funny show, really, but yeah. man up and don't cry. I think that phrase has hurt more men in the history of men than anything else. It's I like it. It's this guy saying these things. He is it's a bit unexpected, and I like that. And of course, this clip with its music and so on makes you listen to it. It becomes emotional. It's a good trick. Well, that's a good clip. I think people like Mr. Andrew Tate, the yeah, he is a rapist, ain't he? From what we have learned about him. I don't know if he will listen to clips of this and understand it, but yeah, he should. He should. Oh, let's. I mean, this man is a professor. He should know some things, and he's actually quite good at saying things that are obvious. So let's look at him.
Why do you think so many young men then are suicidal and desperate, as you say? Is this a fault of post-religious society lacking meaning?
Well, I think it's an assault on it's a consequence of the active discouragement of young men, and you see that manifesting itself through society from all the way from elementary school up through university. I mean, boys are underperforming girls at every academic level. They drop out far more frequently out of school. They do, and out of university. They're bailing out of the humanities and have been for 20 years. There won't be a man left in the, well, it's very unfriendly to be a man in the humanities at universities. I don't know why in the world you would be.
Why do you think so many young men then?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing radical in this point said. It is sad that we have a world where young men struggle with finding an identity in place. And yeah, it could be that the structure we see at universities and school, they are not favorable to how young men and boys work. That's true, but the solution isn't to make the schools, become a more masculine or something like that. I think it's just silly to portray it like that. I mean, because there's still plenty of boys that manage to come through school and do well. So I think it's a problem with society rather, and people being unable to create good expectations for young boys and men about how things work. And then when they come to school, they, they struggle with the system there. That's not the school's fault. That is rather, bad parenting, bad societal awareness, and so on. I mean, let's be honest, there's a lot of people out there that they raise their kids after values they have that are not healthy. And those things, when they come into school and they meet the school system there and the values of society, it can clash and it becomes difficult. Then, of course, there's a lot of, this was a very stuffed clip with a lot of things. There's, of course, the thing that boys struggle with education in general, and probably have always, and that females are better at schools, at everything related to school than males are, and always have been, really. But since they have been less, fewer possibilities in the past, and now they have more possibilities, and it shows. They are in average smarter than young men and boys. I remember seeing this IQ spectrum once that showed the curve of IQ, and it can clearly tell that females in general are more collected on this curve. They are more likely to have an IQ somewhere around the average than boys are. Boys are more spread out. Boys are a lot dumber and smarter on this spectrum. So the top and the bottom of this spectrum were IQ spectrum was boys. Now, of course, IQs don't say anything, but it says something. I think because the school system is built up on things related to IQ. That means in the class, in an average class, if you take, I don't know, any level at all, grade level at all, you're probably going to see that the top students and the bottom students are boys. I think so. But when you look at it on a, I don't know, statistical perspective of a wider thing, I think females will advance ahead because, sure, there are more fields today, more possibilities that are less, when this favors fewer boys. I don't know. We have a problem with this. I know. But I'm not so sure it's a school problem as much as it is a societal problem in general. But it's a decent clip for being Mr. Jordan Peterson, because he is a king of rhetorics and saying the obvious and then selling huge amounts of books about this. Kudos to him for being able to do so, but most of his, I don't know, those what's called 12 steps, I don't remember what it's called, he wrote. I mean, it's old material. There's nothing new there. It's been said since the antiquities, so yeah. Okay, let's look at some more clips. Oh God, more Andrew Tate. Yeah, let's do it. 5.6 million views.
Okay, but can we validate men that have
Completely. If you have mental health,
so we can't go player. Just validate men that have mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Men who have mental health issues, I wish them the best in the world.
Okay, great.
But when they come to me and say, and I get this all the time, Andrew, I have this problem, I'm depressed and I can't go to the gym. I say, no, I disagree. You're depressed because you don't go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you might start to feel better, right? I'm saying you can't sit as a man and afford the luxury of saying, I have a mental health issue today, I'm sad today, I'm stressed today, I'm emotional today, I can't work. Because you will lose against the men who don't do that. And the male world is more competitive than you could possibly imagine. And it's the women who pick the winners. So I find it very interesting that a woman sits here to me and says, no, men are allowed to sit around and do fuck all and feel sad. And those are the men they ignore when they DM.
No.
Don't.
Okay, but can we validate men that have
Completely. If you have mental health,
so we can't go player. Just validate men that have mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh God, he is annoying, ain't he? This alpha male image he portrays where you have to be strong and go to the gym. That's really all he says. And what the hell is this crappy video game thing down here? I mean, this says it all. The people who like this and listen to this are young boys that don't understand anything about what it is to be a man, don't understand anything about manliness or mental health. They are young, stupid kids. Oh, God. He's obnoxious also. He silences her and says she's a woman. She shouldn't address him, basically. I mean, come on. Oh, God. I think I have to avoid watching more clips with him because he is a painful thing to watch, for sure. With his platitudes. Okay, let's watch. What should we watch now? Let's watch this. I don't know what it is. Not a huge clip.
A lot of people, especially men, go into mental health, mental problems, and they just don't talk about it. They scared of talking about it. It's not easy for a man to do it because a man always have to have shit together. Like I'm a man. I never have a problem. I take care of everything, but that's not the way it works. I go through anxiety sometimes. I get panic attacks. I get nervous. I get the shakes. I get a lot of shit I start thinking about because I'm a human being. A lot of people, especially men, go.
Well, this clip didn't say much. I like it. It portrays a, tough guy here. Obviously a lot tougher than I will ever be. Who, acknowledge that there are men who struggles and suffers I mean, that's good. I think a lot of men just simply need to see that. That's one of the points with my channel, is that I want to show that there are men out there, middle-aged men, that struggle with mental health. And it is hard, for sure. It's really hard. I've been having a real tough time in the last few days, but also feeling a bit of hope. I've finally acknowledged some things I've hold on to and that were bad for me, and I'll let them go. I mean, well, that's a part of life. You let go of things that are bad for you. You should, basically. But yeah, I guess good. Show to the world there are tough men that struggles. I like that. Let's see. Do women actually care about mentals? Yeah, let's look at this.
So whose life is harder, guys or girls?
Girls.
Why girls?
Periods. Birth. We give birth.
Birth periods? Okay. But guys can...
And we literally have to get ready to go out. You guys have to take a shower and like put on a sweatshirt.
Guys kill themselves at a much higher rate than females do.
That sucks. Jenna, holy shit.
Wow. So whose life is harder, guys or girls?
Okay, this was a bit of a I don't know, evil clip. He set them up for a trap there. Young girls answering this question. I'm pretty sure if you ask boys this question, you will get a lot of, simplified and almost stupid answer as well. They obviously didn't consider the mental health thing here. And so this is a very misleading, nasty headline, because that's not really what he asked, okay? And it is a fact that men are more prone to have, suicidal thoughts and so on. So it's really good to acknowledge this and show this, but maybe don't do it at the expense of some young girls by putting on this fake headline. So this is crap. I should have downvoted the Tate videos. I forgot that. Anyway, let's look at Joe Rogan.
That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes ever because it's true. And I've been that guy in this world where you just can't wait to just run away.
And how do people get stuck there? How do you think they get stuck there?
Bills and commitment. You have an apartment you have to pay for. You have a car you leased. You have a wife that you have to feed. You have a child you have to raise.
Where do you think opportunity plays into that?
Well, the opportunity takes place usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. As a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz. If I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. But the only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff. That's the only way. You have to take a path that's dangerous, and most people want to take the safe path. That most men live lives of quiet desperation. It's one of my favorite quotes.
Yeah, I mean, mixed bag once again. I like it that the end when he said you have to take chances and do things. That's good. I mean, but the start here, Mr. Joe Rogan, you should perhaps interview these manly men and ask them why they persist on saying that it's bad to feel weak and bad to feel like crap as a man. That is unmanly, basically. I mean, that in itself creates a lot of extra pressure. I mean, just the complete, utter stupidity that it's a man's responsibility to uphold the financial situation of a family and be the main supporter and all that archaic bullshit. I mean, come on. It's 2024, soon 2025. I think it's an equal shared responsibility to support a family, for sure. And you're not a bad man if you can't. I mean, for Christ's sake. There's a lot of stupidity on YouTube Shorts, that's for sure. I didn't expect anything else, but I hope for some better. I think let's look at this dude. I don't know who it is, but let's look at it.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought depression was fake. For the longest, I was like, dog, that's the biggest excuse I've ever heard. I'm like, I don't know why people like lean on it so hard. And at one point during when Ari had to cut my high top, that's where the high top came from. I was literally at that wall where I'm like, this leg, it's not getting, like, I can't do nothing. I'm like, Ari, like, at this point, he like, dude, can you get up, change, cut your hair, come on, let's cut your hair, let's do something different. And everybody keep telling me, you need to rest, you need to rest, you need to rest. I'm like, bro, I've been going to sleep every day for 2 months. I'm like, I can't do nothing. I can't run, I can't jump, I can't push somebody, I can't do nothing. I'm like, if I walk down the stairs and mess up, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? So I was just in that, and I was like, bro, this is the first time I could acknowledge it. I was like, man, depression's real. I ain't gonna lie, I thought depression was fake.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, I guess there's plenty of macho manly men. I don't know who he is. Is he some sports star? It looks like some of the American elite athletes that are there in basketball or something. I don't know who he is. Don't bash me for it because I'm not American. You can probably hear that from my accent. Yeah, depression is not real. It is really sad that stupid notion still exists. And it's probably to do with this manly bullshit we saw with Andrew Tate and so on before. But it's good when we see a tough guy acknowledge it exists. The world needs to see that a lot more. So let's look at, I don't know. Let's look. Oh, I don't know. Let's take a look at Mr.
Imagine that because you don't have a mate and you don't have any friends and you don't have a job,
Jordan Peterson.
and you don't do anything productive with your time, etc., that you're kind of a loser. And what does that mean? It means compared to other people, you're not doing very well. Hyper-competent people have their lives together on all those fronts and they're thriving in all those domains. And you are at the bottom of the hierarchy where everything has fallen apart and you're barely clinging to the edge of the world. There's a mechanism that sets your perceived security and utility, a marker for that. The lower you are in the hierarchy, which is the more unstable your life is, the less serotonin your brain produces, and that makes you hypersensitive to negative emotion and suppresses positive emotion. And so true depression, which isn't having a terrible life, true depression would be a mismatch between your actual competence and your self-perceived competence. Imagine that because you don't have a mate and you don't have any friends and you don't have a job and you don't do anything productive with your time, etc., that you're kind of a loser. And what does that mean? It means compared to other people, you're not doing very well. Hyper-competent people.
Yeah, I forgot to click there. What it says is, I think it's absolutely true. You are... I think the depression stems from unfulfilled expectations that you set on yourself. I know that for myself, that I become depressed when I fail with things I thought I should be able to do. Take this with everything we heard earlier with Mr. Andrew Tate, and it is obvious that this man, Mr. Jordan Peterson, is not as moronic as Andrew Tate is. I mean, he is, of course, he should know some things as a professor of psychology. Andrew Tate is just some stupid, moronic fighter. I don't remember what it is. And then influencer. I mean, he's absolutely he got nothing on what is depression and not, and what is manly or not. But yeah, this is a thing for sure. expectations. And if one of those expectations is that men are supposed to be strong, then yeah, that is in itself a really bad start. I mean, it's stupid, just historical, archaic values. That's what it is. So the obvious thing was said by Mr. Professor Jordan Peterson. I don't know if he's a professor. He's a doctor, at least, I think. How to improve mental health. Oh, God. Do I dare click on this? Yeah, I do.
I often get called quite insensitive when I say this, but honestly, it takes about 2 weeks to drastically improve your mental health. Even if you've lived with bad mental health for years and years and years, even if you've been diagnosed with certain conditions, 2 weeks always shows a huge improvement if you just try to meditate and do gratitude journaling, and also try and improve some physical health, things like exercise, get some sunlight, go outside, and try and improve your sleep. I often get called quite
Yeah, I mean, here we go again with the training again. I won't comment on that again. And he said, doing journals and meditate. I know a lot of people say meditation is good for you, and it probably is for some people. For me, with my borderline, meditation is absolutely horrific, because if I'm left alone with my mind and trying to just be, in a silent, quiet setting, my mind starts to wander immediately. I can't, for the love of me, meditate in that way. What I can do is do things like a practical project, like or anything that has to do with focus and concentration. If I can do this, if I can just, I have a little bit of a garden going on outside, and in springtime, there's a lot of planting doing and so on. And when I do these things, I get into the zone, and I feel relaxed. I feel in the present, mindfulness, all that kind of things, which is what this is all about. So that works for me, but I can't force it by just sitting and doing nothing and try to, focus on a point or something like that. It doesn't work like that. My mind is way too wrapped up that, it is constantly at volume 11. I don't know how to put it. I don't have ADHD, but my mind is absolutely very often sped up really fast, for sure. I notice this when I try to go to sleep. I have to focus really hard on something, like a concept or idea. I often try to create stories in my mind when I go to sleep. Tell a story, continue the chapter, or world building, fantasy stories. I do these things just to let my mind focus on something. And in that manner, I'm able to fall asleep, to become tired. And I can't do this by just closing my eyes and just, go to sleep or relax. It doesn't work like that. So what it says is, of course, it is good for you. There's a lot of things backing up the health benefits of good night's sleep and all of those things. But it is easier said than done. That's for sure. Especially if you are a borderline person. I know other people with borderline who can testify for also having very hyperactive minds. Not everyone. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people with borderline out there that says, no, I can do this. It works for me. Yeah, great. Good for you. It makes life easier if you can. I'm pretty sure of it. But sadly, it's not for everyone. Let's look what we have here. Oh, God. This is probably something about suicides and depressive. I'm not going to watch that. Mental health is so important. Well, let's look at this female talking to a man.
Most people win the battle for success, for dreams, for mental health, for happiness, for confidence in the first 30 seconds of being awake, because they reach for the phone and they immediately direct their attention at other people's lives. Most people win the battle for success, for...
Yeah, I don't know. Is social media bad for us? It probably is. It probably is. I can't see any positive thing about it. I mean, there's a lot of times when I wished that instead of just doom scrolling or watching clips on TikTok and YouTube and so on, that I instead would read a book. I remember reading books. I have to force myself to do this these days. I am successful from time to time to do so if the book is interesting and hooks me. I have this project with a friend of mine. We actually force ourselves to read some things, often just the first chapter of some classical novel or a poem or something, famous literature, famous works, and we have forced us to read this and then do a review together, which we have a Swedish podcast of. A very small podcast. We don't have a lot of followers, but we have a lot of fun when we record this and we talk about the thing we've read. And the bonus thing is one, I get to read, which I miss, and I also feel a little bit more confident about the education and levels, because I always felt a bit lacking when it comes to reading classics. And yeah, it's a good hobby that we have there. I like it a lot. I can recommend doing it, and not necessarily like doing a podcast, but just force yourself to read some things. Do it together with someone. And yeah, don't pick up the phone and look what other people have done. I mean, it's obvious. It's not good for you. It's perhaps not really bad for you, but it's definitely not good for you. You know what I mean? So let's see. Oh God, latest video, man, before committing suicide. I already know it's going to be. It's going to be someone who looks happy and smiles, and then the world is surprised that, oh, I didn't know he felt. Yeah, that's the thing. Suicidal tendencies don't show. It's like drowning, you know. We all have this image in our mind that if you're at the beach and you see someone drown, it's someone, waving their arms and, slowly going under the surface and fading away with a quenched scream, perhaps, of drowning. That's not how it works. Drowning is completely silent. It's ahead, there's someone swimming, and then there's not. That's how drowning works, and that's how suicide usually works. It is someone who is feeling really bad inside, but they are very good often at masking it outside because of moronic expectations often, not always, but often. They are afraid, they are embarrassed to show how they feel, and then the people around them, they don't even know how bad they feel. And that is horrible. That is so horrible, and that's why it's so important that people like Andrew Tate are not being left to say their bullshit, crappy advice unanswered, because people like this horrible person are responsible for men feeling bad about their mental health. He might mask it as this, like he's caring and come on, bro, do some gym. But what he's really saying is that it's bad that you are feeling weak. And that is the first step. Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Well, we have more here. Okay, this is about the topic. Let's listen.
Over the past year or so, I've noticed a greater influx of men oftentimes having a more difficult time acknowledging that they're struggling, because it's very unmanly to say that you're having a hard time. And I think more men have become okay with saying, I'm having a really difficult time and I need help, and if I don't get help, it's going to affect myself and my family. More men are acknowledging that it's okay. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to struggle. Feel not the way that you want to feel. It's okay. It's okay. Over the past year or so,
that's what I've been saying. And that's the obvious thing that anyone who actually knows something about mental health and men's mental health would say. The problem is, it's not a cool, rich guy with sunglasses that 15-year-olds want to be who says it. It's this chubby man with a beard that, is going to get bashed for his looks, basically. That's who says it. So we need more of those tough sport guys, those really obviously alpha male-looking guys saying these things. That's the important thing. We need those to balance things up against the likes of Andrew Tate. People like me, a middle-aged dork from Sweden. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not the one who will be able to do so, because the people like Andrew Tate and the likes of his fans won't listen to someone like me. That's just the way it is. And yeah. All right, let's do one more, and then I'm going to end this stream. Let's do one more. Let's do someone. Right, 12 million views. Let's listen to this.
Why is every pretty girl with a horrible looking man? I don't understand.
She would walk in, I'd be like, hey, good to see you. And I'd go to my dressing room and just go, oh, I'll never be able to be with her.
My mental health is off. Everybody go crazy about that too. Do you not think that affects someone mentally?
Like, not everyone can smile more, okay? Like, some people are dealing with shit.
I'm
okay?
sorry, dude.
And I come on here and I'm like trying to like be entertaining for you, but I'm miserable inside, and like, I don't know, I don't feel like I'm respected at all.
You know, I should change. Why should I change? I've never even got to find out who I am. You want me to change? That's crazy.
And so I decided at that point, I guess, I don't need you. The only person I need is me. And I'll be damned if I'm ever gonna need somebody.
Why is every pretty girl with a
Oh, yeah. I mean, this video is a bit strange. A lot of clips about men showing frustration and annoyance. And so I don't really know what the point of this video was. There was a lot of random clips. I don't like her first comment here. I mean, sure, she's not necessarily commented it without a context we don't know about, but why is every pretty girl with a horrible man? Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes they're perhaps rich. I don't know. Sometimes these horrible men aren't horrible. Actually, you just expect them to are. And then sometimes, yeah, they are probably horrible. But there's something else with them. They are rich. They are famous. They are, I don't know. And that's a mental health thing going on for females. That should be addressed very much more with females. That's one thing, that's for sure. And yeah, I don't know about the other clips there. Looked like some guy having a breakdown in a studio. I don't know if it was for real. If it was, I mean, Jesus Christ. Horrible things. Okay, this was draining. I mean, so much crap on these videos, and these are the first results you get when you log on to this. Horrible, just horrible. And yeah, there's a lot of work to do here if we want to balance this out, and small YouTubers like me can't do much of anything, really. I can comment, I can rant, I can call Andrew Tate an idiot, because that's one thing that needs to be told a lot more times. There's nothing cool about this guy. He probably belongs in a prison system. That's one thing that's for certain. He's really good at triggering me, and I'm not easily triggered by people in that way. But he really triggers me because he has that ability to say things that can sound cool and uplifting when you hear them, but when you realize what he's actually saying, what he's actually making people think, then he's shaming things. And that's the problem. He shames things. So he's a nasty, nasty little man. All right. It's been fun. And I hope that in the future, more people will find my lives and perhaps chat during them. Nobody chatted during this one, and that's okay. I don't expect this channel to have any huge numbers when it comes to live chats. And you're always welcome to leave a comment afterwards about the things I said. If you are a Andrew Tate fanboy, I'm pretty sure you are going to cry about that, and I don't care. Go ahead. Just go ahead. Yeah. Have a good one, and I will be back in the future quite soon again.